We thought practice was hot, but qualifying was unbelievably warm here in Germany for the 110th World Championships. Coming up is the story of Friday. Well, for this review of Friday's amazing action, I'm once again joined by our resident experts. It's Oisin O'Brien from Red RC and Scotty and Oisin, as we now decide, from the world. Scotty, you called the races. It was 6 rounds of incredible action. What stood out for you?
It was a pretty amazing day today. We saw everything from average hobbyists up to the professionals who get paid to do this for a living. It was probably, as the people told me, one of the hottest couple 3 days we've had here in Germany in years that they can remember, and it definitely played a part in today's festivities, with the track temperature changing from the 8 o'clock in the morning rounds to the later rounds in the afternoon, that when the sun went down to the lower part of the sky, the track temperatures cooled down, speeds went crazy. We saw a 25-lap run from Alexander Hagberg, and it came down to tires. If you had new tires or old tires, one runs, it all came down. It was great.
It was that tactics on the tyres which really decided, because it was round by round scoring. So if you had the right tyres in the right place, you could shoot up and get lots more points. You must be monitoring those tactics really closely in the pits there, Oisin. Who do you think was clever and who do you think didn't play it right?
Well, I think the Tamiya team, they played it right, and they're the top 2 places on the grid for the big final. I mean, they concentrated on making sure their cars were the first cars away at the start of the heat, so they had a clean track in front of them, and they played tactics on that with tyres as well. They put certain drivers out in different heats with the good tyres so that they would get all their Tamiya guys running off the grid first, and as we see, it paid off.
Now, towards the end, we saw a couple of guys actually keep back a set of tyres, but it didn't always work, did it? Which was a surprise.
Well, the big surprise was Ronald Volker. I tipped him to win this event. He's only starting near the back of the grid, and he went out in the second last run with a brand new set of tyres, and his car was terrible. And then Hayato, who just made it onto the back, exactly on the back of the grid in 10th place, he also ran a brand new set of tyres in the last run, and he pulled up early because it was so bad.
Luckily, as you say, he scraped the grid. The top 3 qualifiers, we had, well, why don't you hear from him, find out who has qualified on the top 3 positions for this fantastic races tomorrow. You're the reigning world champion, now you're on pole for this year's World Championship. Fantastic achievement.
Yeah, it went all pretty good. I mean, everybody was close on making a top run, so some people crashed, and in the end I was lucky. And I'm sorry for Gilles that he had interference, he couldn't start. I think he would have maybe made a better run than me, so... But it's okay. I'm first, he's second, so it's pretty good.
Congratulations on qualifying second, and bad luck on losing the chance to go for first in that last run.
Yeah, sure. My car is just great all weekend, and I was very, very confident to do well in the last run. And I just had like the radio problem, just the same as Elliot. I feel like I am just a man to beat here, and now I'm second on the grid, which is not so bad, and also good for Tamiya 1 and 2. And yeah. We'll see tomorrow what happened in the final.
Alexander Hagberg, the only person to do 25 laps all day, and of course eventually 3rd overall.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the last round. The car has been getting better every round. I haven't changed that much today. I've just getting used to it and drive better, and it has been really good towards the end, and I'm happy with 3rd on the grid. I was just expecting to be in the final, to be honest.
So that's the top 3, 2 Tamiyas and an X-Ray, but in 4th place we have another Tamiya, Victor Wilk, and 5th we have your tip, Paul Lemieux, and you were cheering him on every single time. Paul, he's done America proud, hasn't he?
He has. He really has. I mean, him and I are pretty close. You know, we kind of grew up at my hobby shop and things like that, and it's great to see it. I said earlier that, you know, he was really on a roll. He really practiced, prepared for this week here in Germany, and made the A12 scale, and, you know, did it here also. I think he's sitting 5th on the grid, so anything can happen. You know, the Tamiya boys are up front, 1 and 2, and they got Hagberg, X-Ray teammate, sitting 3rd. So it'll be a good start. Is going to be important for everybody, and we'll see how it plays out.
Now, in 6th place, it's the surprise package, I think, of the finals. It's Christopher Krapp. Now, you've obviously followed him in Europe, and also obviously the ETS series you guys are both at. I'm surprised he's there. Are you?
Well, he was tipped to do well here. In Thailand, he won the D final actually in Thailand, so he didn't really feature strongly there. But last year he came good. He made the A main in the European Championships, and he's had a good season. He knows this track pretty well, and then Kyosho has the new TRF6, and that seems to be working really, really well. So he's been there since the start of the event, so I'm not too surprised to see him in the final.
A couple more young guys behind him. We've got Yannick Prumper and of course Elliot Harper. So is this the beginning of the new generation coming through?
Yeah, there's a lot of teenagers in there now, and they're very hungry. So yeah, they're coming good. I think Elliot, he was the big surprise in Thailand. He made a big name for himself, and he had a bad look in the last qualifier. He had a bit of radio trouble, as did Gilles Groskamp. But I think Elliot could be the one to watch in the final. I think he's very hungry for a win, and he's got a good car under him.
Now, as I said, we've been sitting behind you for the last 2 days, and all we've heard is work together. Hey, clean race. But now it's finals. It's a tight track. The cars are much closer than they were in Thailand. You know, there's some quick cars starting 6th and 7th. Race director, race announcer, it's going to be a tough job, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be very, very tough, and the referees are going to have to be on their game. It's a tight track, a very tight circuit. Patience is going to pay off. There's the guys that try to force passes and get aggressive they're going to be hurt because they're probably going to lose on the deal, get called a penalty. I think the drivers that are patient follow somebody. There's so many curbings. The curbings are tight on the turns. If you hit a curbing while you turn, you're going to flip over, and that's where people are going to take advantage of mistakes by being close and pressuring somebody. Some of these guys are good at it. Some of the youngsters, I don't think they have the patience like Lemieux and Reinhardt and Grosskamp, stuff like that. So I think some of the veterans might have the edge when it comes to the patience.
Well, we also asked the top 3 drivers about the obvious point of starting and stopping people from passing in Mark's case and overtaking the other 2 guys, and this is what they had to say. 2 guys to get past. Can you overtake on this track?
The track is rather small, very narrow. Overtaking with a touring car is difficult, but I'll do my best and we'll see how it goes. You
and Mark have worked well together, but now you're racing.
Yes.
It all changes.
Yeah, for sure we're gonna race, and for sure we'll make sure that one of the Tamiya car will win. But sure we're gonna make a hard fight. Yes.
Can you drive a defensive race, or is that not in your nature?
I will try to. I mean, I have to do it, and I think it should be fine because it's hard to pass. If I have no mistake, it should be okay. But you never know. Everything can happen in the final.
Mark, well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're in the final, Oisin. It's your tip, in fairness, Ronald hasn't qualified very well, but you did, in fairness, in conversation tell us that Gilles was going particularly well. So are you going to change your tip for the win overall?
I think it's going to be very tough to call. I think Gilles is pretty pumped up now. He was going for the TQ. His car was probably, I think he would have had the best car in the final qualifier, only he had the radio problems. So I think he will be able to prove a point tomorrow. But you can't, Mark Reinhardt he works best when he's under pressure. And when he has all those guys behind him, I think he's going to be a hard one to crack.
So you're joining me then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And are you sticking with the with your hometown boy?
Oh, you have to. I mean, I'm proud of him. He did great, and there might be a thing to starting a bit in the back. If those guys get aggressive, their teammates. Mark wants to have 3 championships. Gilles wants this one probably more than Mark does. So even though they're teammates, I don't think they're going to hold anything back. And who knows, with Hagbert's sitting in 3rd, something might happen. And maybe Paul will have a little bit of luck. His car's ready, his mind's there. So I think he can do it.
Scotty, thank you. Oisin, thank you. I think the only thing we do know is we don't know, which is fantastic. I think anyone, probably the top 8 drivers, has got a really good chance of winning. I really don't think this is going to be decided in 2 legs. It's going to take 3 legs. A fantastic racing here tomorrow, and you can follow it all on hpi.tv.